Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the whole crew's back together. Welcome back, Mike. Everybody was wondering where you were, but Mikey's back. It's the Mike and Mish show. What up, dude?
I was worried sick about you guys. I didn't know where the hell you were. I was like so worried that I didn't see you guys last week. Oh my God.
You know,
it's good to be back. It's good to be back.
I'll tell you who was very worried about you was Large Benjamin, dude. Large Benjamin was
Large
hitting
Benjamin.
me up. He was worried. Where's Mike? Is he sick? I need to do so. What do I got to do to pay to get him out of jail? What did he do? They were guessing what you were arrested for, why you were in jail. I assured them you were not incarcerated, my friend. You just had other things to do. But they had this idea that the only thing that would keep you away from doing this podcast is fucking jail.
Locked up. I know. But believe it or not, I was not locked up. I was here. I was here in Rhode Island, just doing Rhode Island shit, doing nothing fun. That's for sure. I did eat Domino's that night. I had those new, well, I don't think they're that new anymore, but it's like the stuffed pepperoni cheesy bread sticks. I do remember eating those. That they were fucking delicious, and they were probably high in calories. So
there you go.
Very good. That's what that means. When things are high in calories, that means it's good.
We're gonna get going on the show in a minute here. Yeah. We're gonna talk about a few things real quick though, but I gotta tell you real quick. You see my show enough? Who's the Master mug right now?
Yes,
I am drinking quite possibly the worst tasting tea I've ever tasted in my life. Ew. I bought it off of this spice place in Mexico. I could possibly be drinking a bale of hay right now. I have no fucking clue what this is, but it's like I need like a chaser for it. I might drink this habu sake that I got in Mexico. Yeah, it's disgusting. But I
don't like tea. I'm not a tea guy.
I love drinking tea, dude. It feels good. But we do have it's disgusting. Don't drink this shit. We got a big show. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I do have a quick shout out before you go into that.
Okay.
It is my sister-in-law's birthday today. So happy birthday to Carrie. And then, unfortunately, Carrie, more importantly, it is my daughter's birthday tomorrow. It is Bristol's 6th birthday, and she's in Florida right now. So hopefully she's watching.
Wow.
Yeah, like, as if
6
she
years
watches
old?
this show. She stays up to watch this show. Yes.
Yeah, we'll
In
watch our
Florida.
mouth. We'll watch our
Right.
mouth for Bristol, the
Yeah, we
6-year-old.
won't fucking swear.
Dude, 6 years old already, man.
6
Holy
years
cow.
old. Can't even believe
Oh,
it. She was 1 when
happy
we started
birthday.
this journey.
Happy birthday to Carrie, and happy birthday to Bristol, who taught us all about breadstick vaginas.
That's correct. I don't know if you talked about that on the show yet, but my daughter believes that males have breadstick vaginas. Don't know where she came up with that, but that's what she told me. So
Yeah,
now I'm telling you that men have breadstick vaginas. Boom. So now you
There it
learn
is.
something every single day.
That's a Rhode Island 5-year-old's brain right there that came up with that.
Yeah.
So hey, we got a triple header for you guys tonight. Think about that. Let that roll around in your brains a little bit.
Yeah,
And we got
do
a
it.
triple header. We got the man who will be challenging for the BKFC middleweight title in just a couple days next week in Albuquerque, June 6th. Donald Sanchez will be challenging Dave Mundell for that title. We're going to talk to Donald Sanchez. After him, we're going to talk to a big, heavy hitting heavyweight, Josh Stay Down Watson, who's making his return to New England. He has not fought in New England in a dozen years. He's going to be taking on Yorgan De Castro at Mohegan Sun on June 14th. So we're going to talk to Josh. Always a good time talking to him. And then we will talk to Crystal Van Vake, the lovely Crystal Van Vake, who will be taking on Jenny Savage in Albuquerque. Late addition to that fight card. That fight card is really rounding out to be something nice. All right. We're going to do that triple header for you guys, and we're going to shout out our sponsors real quick and get this show on the road. What do you say, Mike?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. Get yourself ready. Let's go.
Whew, I'm ready for this one. Hey, Dynamic Life, sexual health, weight loss, and anti-aging. Retake control of your life. By reaching optimal health, visit www.livedynamic.com. It's the only online platform where you can become a patient in under 20 seconds. Also, check out their Instagram page at Live Dynamic. That's L-I-V Dynamic on Instagram.
Wow, that was extra yuck it up tonight. Good job. Welcome back, Mike, on that one. And once you're done checking out Dynamic Life, get over to the Rasha Elite Performance. It is the official mindset, performance, and recovery partner of the 1%, of the BKFC, and of the Mike and Mish show. Get over to their Instagram at Rasha Elite, and their website is www.therasha.com. Do you still have to say www? Is that like a 19?
I don't know. I just say it.
All right,
www.
therasha.com. So
Like that.
thank you to Dynamic Life and the Rasha for keeping this show going. Mike, what do you say we go ahead and bring on the title challenger, Donald Sanchez?
Yes, it's about damn time. When we come back, we will be joined by Donald Sanchez. Let's go.
Is an absolute superstar out of Albuquerque. Donald Sanchez, welcome back to the show, my friend.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me again.
Hey,
it's always
what's
a
happening?
pleasure. Always a pleasure, my friend. We had your opponent on last week. Well, I had your opponent on. Mike took the week off, but I had the opponent on last week. And I don't know if you saw it, but David doesn't think too much about you, Donald. He doesn't think too much of you. What'd you think?
Yeah. Man, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm tunnel vision. I'm ready. And I'm about to show him. I'm a different breed. I'm a different animal. I'm different than everybody else that he's fought, and he's coming, and he wonders why he has to come to my town. But you guys kind of know why. You seen the crowds here?
Oh, we talk about Albuquerque all the time, man. Albuquerque, we say it all the time. It's one of the best fight towns in all the United States. Everybody there is down to get down, and everybody knows what's going on at all times when it comes to combat sports. And you are one of the biggest names from that area. So, of course, it makes sense to have it there. He is the number one pound for pound fighter in the world, though. You do have to admit the man has looked good. He seems like he has pretty much figured out the sport, but you yourself have gotten better and better your last 3 or 4 fights. What are your thoughts about the pound for pound number one fighter of the world at that in, your opponent next week?
Man, I love it. This is what we should all be striving for in a sport. Fight the best, and be the best, So it's I had a goal, and it was to be the champion of this weight, and it just so happens he's pound for pound. And that don't scare me at all. That motivates me more. I can't wait, Maybe he's downplaying what he's thinks of me or whatever, but man, he's about to find out once we step in that ring. That's for sure.
So you don't
Right.
believe him, right? You don't believe him. Yeah.
Nah, he's training hard. He's just trying to talk a game, get in my head. But I mean, he's screwed if he did take me lightly. That's all I'm gonna say.
Right. I believe he said you seem slow and confused. I believe those were 2 words that he used last week. Mike, you had the night off. I hope you tuned in and checked it out. When he said that, I was like, interesting choice of words. I was wondering what Donald thinks about being called slow and confused. I believe those were 2 words that he used.
That's pretty crazy, man. I consider my IQ pretty high, and I've been pretty smart in that ring, and I've been pretty fast too, honestly. So I don't know. Maybe I'm maybe I'm seeing it different, but maybe he's delusional. I don't know. Who knows? You know what I mean? We'll
Well,
let the people think about that and see what they say.
Well, Mike and I were just talking about it. Anybody can go onto your Instagram and see what kind of training you've been doing. You look like you're in fantastic shape, which anybody going into a world title fight a week out from the fight should be in the best shape of their life. You are all professionals and you're the best in the world that do it. So if you're not in the best shape of your life, I mean, what the fuck are you doing?
yeah.
But
Can you
anybody
imagine
can,
going on somebody's?
yeah.
Where you go on their page, they're fighting this week, and you go, "Wow, they look like shit. They look terrible this week." Like,
No, you know what I mean? Everyone
hope
can
not.
everyone can go and see, training camp to training camp to training camp. You seem to have, like I said, fight to fight to fight. You seem like you're settling right in on this sport. Is each training camp getting a little bit better every single time? Are you taking little things out of each training camp and saying like, you know what, we don't need to fucking do that anymore. Like let's work more on this type thing.
Absolutely. I got a great team of individuals with me. We all game plan, and I'm nonstop, bro. I'm not stopping for anything. We're just adding more in, doing more. I have a lot of recovery involved with it. I have nothing but time right now. My businesses run themselves, so I'm it's crazy. I have my own gym, so I'm able to do whatever I want in this place. I can come whenever I want, and my coaches are on speed dial when we want. So it's it's everything. I said this a long time ago. These guys better not let me get better. They better fight me now. And the time went on, and now here we are. So I get better every fight. I fought a different style every fight, and I've shown that I can adapt to that and get better too.
Let me ask you this: being the guy that you are, the entrepreneur in Albuquerque, the big businessman, everybody loves Donald Sanchez down there. You just mentioned having your own gym, so you're going in there, you're training. Everybody around you sees you training for a title run here. How special would it be to bring home a world title, a BKFC world title, to the people of Albuquerque? And how nuts is the city going to go? If you come home with that belt over your shoulder.
Yeah, man. When I come home with the belt over my shoulder, everybody's gonna love it. I'm different than the other champions that are from here. I'm not knocking any of them from here or whatever. We have Austin, we have Dotson. They both have crazy different backgrounds and a different approach on things. But I'm here. I support the community. They support me, and I set out a goal. I said this a long time ago. What was going to happen? I predicted it. I've done it, and here we are. You know, so they're gonna love it. It's gonna be wild in there, man. It's it's gonna be nuts.
So I'm going to bring this up, this topic. It comes up often when we're in Denver, when we're in Albuquerque. Kyle and I, the first time we went to Albuquerque, I was completely oblivious that you guys are 5,300 feet above sea level. Like that blew my mind when I went there. I don't know why I thought we were like, yeah, we're going to, this is my mind being in the Northeast. We're going to the desert. It's flat and it's just sea level, like that's it. It's just flat. There's no water there. And we're just going there.
Yeah.
It's the desert. That's what my freaking Northeastern brain was thinking when I went there. Then we got there and I was like, holy shit, this is 5,300 feet above sea level. Like that's a hell of a lot different than training in Florida. Correct?
Absolutely, 100%. And he thinks that I want to stay here in my town to I guess put that onto my opponents, and he thinks it's not going to be a factor. But the fact is, I fight whoever the BKFC wants me to. I bring a huge crowd. The money's here for them. They're a business. I'm a business, and they know where to have me fight. So, if he didn't do his preparations for that, I know he's out here today. He's here right now. So he came a little early. Kudos to him, but hopefully he did the right things for that actual elevation change. It's it's a big difference.
It
Do
is a
you
difference. When we were staying, so we're staying in the hotel, right? And I think I was on like the 4th floor. I run all the time. We're both in the military. I always run. I love to run. So it's not like I'm just going to get winded running, but I actually felt the difference in like, so I had to run downstairs to the 1st floor and then I ran up the stairs back to the 4th floor. And when I got to the floor and I'm walking down the hallway, I took a couple of deep breaths and I get to my room and I was like doing something. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, why do I feel like I could feel the difference of being just a little bit more out of breath than I was. And it wasn't like I did some crazy strenuous activity. It was just running up and down the stairs, 4 flights of stairs, down and then back up again. And I could feel just that little bit of a difference. So I can't imagine fighting, 2 minutes straight, 1 minute off, 2 minutes straight in that.
without properly training
it'll
for
fucking
it?
kick your ass for sure.
Yeah, man, it's the real deal. That's for sure. So I hope he didn't take it lightly. I hope he did the right things because I want to fight him at his best and I want to beat him at his best.
Do you think that the training mask works?
Fuck no. That shit's a joke. I did that 15 years ago. We did a study on it with a private doctor that I work with. You're actually fucking breathing in your own carbon monoxide and fucking up your lungs. Doesn't do shit for you. The only thing that's gonna work for you is like the real military masks and stuff like that.
Like a real gas mask, like a pro
Yeah,
mask that
man.
would
You
wear?
you need to filter all that shit. What is that? Come on, where are you gonna breathe out all your carbon monoxide? Let's be smart about this.
Makes sense. That makes sense to me. Yeah, because he had mentioned that he was using the training mask, and I know that like I've read and seen a lot of studies on the training mask, so I don't know. I think it just cuts off your oxygen a little bit, and like you just said, you're breathing in your own, you're exhaling and breathing in the same shit that you just exhaled because it's just keeping it contained in that mask. So,
Yep.
but
Yep.
I want to ask you about Dave. Dave has been known to take a shot, to give a shot. You saw it with a few of his fights, Mike Richmond being one, and Mike Richmond being one of the hardest hitters, pound for pound in your guys' division. Do you think that, Dave can approach you the same way that he's approached some of these other guys, where he can afford to take a shot or two, or is there something different about you and your power heading in there as he approaches this fight?
Shit. Mike hits hard as hell, and he's knocked out quite a bit of people. But I hit with a different style. I hit with speed and a snap. It's not necessarily punching through their heads, so he's not gonna be able to take too many of those. He may be able to take a couple, but I mean, I've dropped every single one of my opponents. except Jeremy Smith the first fight, but I didn't fight him on a real like serious level, honestly. So um that's I mean, I'm not knocking him out cold, but yeah, I'm dropping him, and I do hit hard.
Let me tell you something about Jeremy Smith, though. And I don't need to tell you, but for anybody that's watching, Jeremy Smith, you need to hit that dude with like a fucking cinder block to knock him down. That dude is like one of the toughest people I've ever seen step into that ring.
Yeah.
And the Houston Alexander fight is the perfect example. Like Houston Alexander punched him in his ribs. Was it he was just getting absolutely annihilated by fucking Houston, and Houston hits hard, and Jeremy fought through all of it, and they went the full 5. It was like one of the most insane, resilient fights I've ever seen in my life, and it was that guy that you were just talking about. So not knocking down Jeremy Smith is nothing to
Yeah.
sneeze at, dude. That's it's a
For
fucking
sure, man.
tornado.
That was a tough first fight for me to not take serious and just jump back in there. I think I fought him at his best too, and I thank him every day because he's the one that got me back into this, man. He's the one that said, "You still have it in you. Let's go get that belt." So,
And
yeah,
was that fight at 185 or was that at 205?
yeah, that was at 85, and
85.
yeah, I was a fat fuck back then, so I really
I know
did it
you were
just to lose
bigger.
weight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
weighed in
man.
at 185 and a quarter, it says.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was a tough one for me because I was living life. I was not eating good, and I was only powerlifting at the time. So I was all the way up to 235 pounds, and I really only took the fight just to lose weight and get healthy again. And then in the
235.
yeah, man, I was fucking big,
That's a
and
big
I
boy.
was
Holy
I was
smokes.
fat. I was fat, dude. But I mean, but big at the same time. I could still move, But I did it to lose weight and be more motivated to stay in the gym, and fuck, it turned everything around. And look where we are now.
Yeah,
Do you
because
think
you make your debut and then it's like you go there, you got all those people. There's so many people there. I remember just being like, holy shit, there's so many people here for you. Like Kyle and I we're actually in the back and just watching from behind. It was like even before you fought, there were so many fans there to watch the fight, and then come to find out, like most of them were there to see you fight. Like and I didn't know that at first. I had no idea. And Ryan Perez was back there with us, telling us, like, oh yeah, you wait till you see how many people are here, and I was so amazed. And then, of course, yeah, you lose the fight, your first freaking fight, and bare knuckle and BKFC, and then that happens, and it's like fucking super bummer. And then, like you said, you come back, and then you fucking you just smashed everybody in your way after that. It's like it kind of lit a fire under your ass. I feel like as soon as that happened, you're like, you know what? Forget this shit. No way.
Yeah, absolutely 100% did. It woke me back up and made me realize that I had something special in me and I had it left. And I was gonna make my run for it. I made it, I set out for a goal. I'm a goal accomplishing guy, and I write it out, I game plan it, I see it, I believe it, and I achieve it. So that's how I work.
when you were fighting before and then you took time off from fighting, you said you got into powerlifting. Do you think that the powerlifting has changed your game in like a significant way? Like do you see yourself with a lot more power? Are you maintaining a ton of the power that you put on while you were doing the powerlifting?
Yeah, absolutely, I do. But the biggest factor of the whole thing was I was already kind of a big guy. I'm 6 foot, you know what I mean? I walked around at 180 when I was cutting down to 145. I was destroying myself trying to cut weight. It was the dumbest shit I ever did. So I realized I had body dysmorphia. I had eating disorders and all this bullshit just to get down and make that weight. And then I realized once I went to the extreme, I went way too heavy. I said, "This is bullshit. I feel like shit. I got to get this together." Now I'm walking around. I don't even have to cut weight. I'm like 5 pounds out right now. I don't got to cut weight, and that's what I really want people to realize is you could fight heavier guys at your natural weight if you do the right things. Cutting all that weight, it's really not the best way, honestly. So you could tell from my record, you know what I mean? I had a shitload of fights, but I lost because probably I cut way too much weight and I didn't have the right energy levels, the power, the speed, everything. I was fighting on all heart at that point.
Right. And you are a perfect example, but also there's other examples in this sport. Like the I mean, he just lost his belt to Josh Dyer, but you and Mike Richmond are very similar in that in that
Yeah.
sense. When he was fighting 135 pounds. Mike's a big dude. When you see Mike, he's a thick fucking guy.
Yeah.
And you watch him walk around now 185, 190 pounds and then cut down to 175. You have no idea, like, how the fuck did you ever make it down to 135? You must have been absolutely killing yourself. And now
Yep.
you just said the same thing about yourself. It's just a much healthier way to go about being a professional, man. And I'm really interested to see what happens with you and Dave. Now, you go out there and you take home a world title in the BKFC. What kind of champion should we expect out of Donald Sanchez? Active,
Yeah.
are you going to
I'm
be showing up at all the events like all the other champions do, wearing that belt everywhere?
I probably won't wear the belt everywhere. I will go to shows. I go to the shows now, you know what I mean? I go to as many as I can. Maybe I'll take the belt, but I'm not here for that. I'm here to fight the best people. I want to stay very active. I'm not chasing the YouTube fights. I don't give a fuck about all that shit. I want to fight the best fighters. I want to fight who's best. I mean, the rankings are a little different in BKFC. There's some people that in our rankings and stuff, and obviously those fights aren't going to happen. So quit chasing it. You know what I mean? Fight the best people, not the money fights. Yes, we do deserve money fights, but it is what it is, and I'm here to fight the best. I don't need the money.
Yeah, you do show up at a lot of events because I actually have pictures of you from LA,
Hmm.
like say Knucklemania 4, ran into
Hmm.
you and your wife. You're married, right?
Yes.
Yep, you and your wife took pictures of you there, and then saw you in Florida as recent as was that December?
December? I think
Yeah, that
Yeah,
December.
was
saw
that was
you there
December.
before we were going into the weigh-ins. We saw you. I saw you the night of the fights. Like that's fucking both coast to coast right there.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're always at the events.
I
I
went
think
out
that's a
to the
big deal.
Dubai one too. I went to the
Oh,
Dubai
you
one
did?
too. So yeah, I was out there. So
Shit. Yeah,
yeah, man.
you're all about
Not
it, dude.
excuse me, not bragging. Jeez. I wish I could have made it there, man. Oh my God. We were here like so jealous of everybody there. Man, I think I hate everybody in this sport now. I
Yeah,
wanted to go so bad.
we
Yeah, it was
definitely got
cool,
to get
man.
out to
It's
one of
nice
those.
out there. You guys got to
Yeah.
go. It's fun. The food is great, and the people are great too. So you got to make
Uh,
it.
We went to the
looks
Spain
amazing.
one and we had the best time of our life. So
Yeah.
Dubai and Italy are the next two spots that we definitely want to hit worldwide.
In
Can we
Australia.
I'm going to take a question from the audience. Swervo Cuts. I don't know if you ever met Swervo, but he shows up at a lot of BKFC events, cuts a lot of
He's like
fighters'
the
hair.
official barber for
Yeah,
BKFC at
he's
this point.
I think he is the official barber of them now. So Swervo Cuts in good question here. He says, "What separates you from other fighters in your weight class, and what do you bring to this fight that Dave Mundell has not seen yet?" That's a good question.
What separates with me? I have a very, very high IQ. I've fought at the highest level in boxing and MMA, and I'm just getting better in bare knuckle, and it's man, I know everybody says this, and I'm a different fighter. I'm gonna bring this and this and this, but I have proven that, and I'm bringing it in every fight. I'm not the same fighter. I change every fight, and I'm gonna bring that out and show who I am, why I'm here, why the BKFC loves me, and why they're coming to my hometown for this. So um, I I I prove it. That's it. I prove it. That's all there is to it.
There you go. Now, what is fight week going to be like for you? Being that you are taking on the number one pound for pound guy. Albuquerque is one of the craziest fight towns in the country. We already talked about tonight. Fight week is always busy for you guys with media stuff and photography, the photos you got to do, the weight cut, the this and that. Being home, you fought at home a ton of times already, but this time you got a world title. Is fight week going to be a little different for you this time than any of the other ones?
Nah, it's no different. I may have to do a little more media this time. Um, but I have everything at my fingertips for whatever I need, the weight cut. I have if they want to come do open workouts at my gym, they could come to my gym. If not, it's not far to whatever gym they're gonna go to. I have the people that back me. I have everything. It's really truly the best timing for all this to happen. I have all ducks in the line, and it's no stress on me for any of this.
It's got to feel good. It's got to feel good to go into a world title fight stress free, dude. You don't hear too many fighters say that shit, but it's pretty awesome. We are not going to be there, of course, and we won't. Well, 100. We do this a lot, Donald, and this time I'm fucking gonna do it again. The Army has us by the balls, dude. They have us by the nuts. And we are going to be right smack dab in the middle of our yearly annual training, our 2 weeks of annual training. And there's not a chance in hell to get out of that to go see these. In the last couple of years, when I was a first sergeant, I was able to get out of these things a few times. I was able, and I was able to fucking get Mike out of these things as well. So that ship has sailed. I am not at the top anymore. We are just schmucks with high ranks, and we will be doing some
High rank
Army.
schmucks.
Yeah, we'll be doing some high rank schmuck shit next week. But we will be watching, cheering you guys on as we always do, and we'll be talking about it down the road. Before we let you go, do you have a message to your opponent, to the BKFC, to the fans that are going to be there? Go ahead. The floor is yours, sir.
You know what? First off, I want to say thank you guys for your service. Appreciate that. America, baby.
Hell yeah.
But thanks everybody. BKFC, they believe in me now. I had to just prove that. I think Dave Feldman and all them. Ryan Perez is a big factor in that. He helps me big time, and we push for this, and he got the right fights and got me here. All the people that support me, Albuquerque, Dave Mundell. You're coming to something that you've never fucking experienced, and I promise you that. These two gentlemen right here have seen it firsthand too, so they're gonna vouch for that, I'm sure. So June 6th, and new, baby, and new.
There you go. Donald, thank you so much for coming on. Before I send it to Mike, for one last thing, I will say what he just said about Albuquerque. It was the first time Mike and I have covered a live event where there were like 1,000 people lined up at the ticket window.
Yeah, I have videos.
There was there was
Video
easily
too.
1,000 people in line outside like an hour before the fucking event. That is 100% God's honest truth. Albuquerque's different. Donald, thank you so much for coming on. Mike, do you have anything else for Donald Sanchez?
Listen, Donald, we might not be there, but I'm going to tell you why. It actually, yeah, it would have been better to be there. Okay, I'm going to admit that right off the bat. But because I have to be away, that means that I'm going to be with my platoon and a few other soldiers. And you know what I like to do? I like to take the fights and I like to put them on the screen in the day room and introduce all the soldiers to bare knuckle fighting. And this has happened a bunch of times all over the United States, going to different classes and stuff like that, opening up the floodgates to bare knuckle fighting, and they love it. So there will be some new people watching your fight. So that'll be really, really cool. Can't wait to see it. This long time in the making. I have to admit, no offense to Aiken, I was extremely upset about the last matchup. Before it happened, the fight turned out great. I liked the fight, and I have nothing against Aiken, but I really thought that you had earned to just have it last time and not have to have that fight. So long time coming here. I even texted Ryan Perez. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was so mad. But,
yeah. Honestly, we were supposed to fight on that card, but the construction out here wasn't done at the Coliseum. So I wasn't going to fight on that. I did take it last minute, like a month out, and that's why we weren't main event. So,
yeah.
you know, it is what it is. And I proved to them that I'm gonna fight anybody at any time, so I'll be ready. And they realize that. So, you know, it was a big risk for me, but
Yes.
I'm a risk taker and I love fighting. And you know, if that was just in my way for this title.
Yes, sir.
Outstanding, man.
Well, everybody watching, make sure that you are tuned in. 6 June, Mundell versus Sanchez, middleweight championship. It's finally here. BKFC 75, Albuquerque. You better tune your ass in. You got to do it. Hey, thanks for coming on, man. You know, you're always welcome here on the Mike and Mish Show.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you. Have a good night.
You
Later,
too,
brother.
everybody else. When we come back, Josh, stay down, Watson. Let's go.
Thanks, Donald.
Later.
Good luck. Whoa, look at this guy. Josh, stay down. Watson, back on the Mike and Mish Show. What up, Josh?
What's happening, guys?
Yes. What is
Dude,
up?
you're back.
Not
We-
much.
We haven't
Fucking-
seen you or talked to you since Sturgis, my friend.
Yeah, right. That's on you.
Is it on us?
That was all Kyle's decision, by the way. He's the one who made that decision. He was like,
Yeah,
we don't
it's all
talk
good.
to Watson.
You're all good.
It's a
You're coming
Josh.
back. You're coming back to the Northeast. How does it feel?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Feels great. Feels real good. Long overdue.
We are correct when we say you have not fought in New England in 12 years, right? Is it 12 years?
2013, I think, was the last. 2012 or 2013. So call it 12 years.
The math is
Sounds good.
mathing.
The math is mathing, dude. It's got to be like a full circle moment, right? It's kind of crazy because that's where you made your you got your start in mixed martial arts and combat sports in the New England scene. It has been over a decade, and you're coming back, man. You're going to fight in one of the best combat sports arenas. I say it all the time. Mohegan Sun Arena is awesome for combat sports, and anybody who hasn't made it out to one of these events yet, get there because you're fucking missing out. Everybody that has come to the BKFC events at the Mohegan Sun, because we're local, you know that, Josh. Everyone's fucking all over it. Matter of fact, quick story. Matter of fact, a girl that I work with lives down like Danbury way in Connecticut, and which is like an hour and 20 minutes from where we work and whatnot, and it's like an hour and a half from Mohegan Sun. She said she was in Home Depot and she saw a guy wearing a BKFC shirt down in Danbury, Connecticut, and she was like, "Oh, you watch the BKFC?" He was like, "Hell yeah, I can't wait till June 14th." And she was like, "Oh, you're going?" He was like, "I went to the last one. I can't wait for the next one." And then shout out to us. She was like, "Do you know the Mike and Mish Show? Those are my friends." And he was like, "Already follow them." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here." That is so cool. I was like, "That's cool." But the moral of that story is that like
It's growing.
Cool.
it's growing. People everywhere are watching it. And the first event at Mohegan Sun had like 3,500. They had over 5,000 last time. So I can't wait to see what they
Oh,
put
it's
in
going to
there
be way
this
more
time.
than that. It's going to be a lot more than that this time for sure.
So
Definitely.
when they called you up, now, like how long has this been in the process? Because they have had 2 events here, and I would imagine that they kind of wanted you for each one of those.
Honestly, they the first time they called me, it was really weird. I don't know. I don't think that BKFC thought I had the pull that I have. And they were trying to put some like stipulations on it of like, if I could guarantee 100 ticket sales. But I'm like, sure, I'm not an amateur fighter, and this is my first fight. Having guaranteed ticket sales doesn't really sound like it should be in my contract, but sure, no problem. They were talking about me fighting. I don't know his name. It was the guy that has the one eye.
Oh,
Oh, the
that's Wolf. The Wolf.
Wolf. Yes. And Damn, I'm glad I didn't take that fight, considering the commission waited until like the day of weigh-ins and was like, "You have one eye, you can't fight."
Yeah, who was he
It's weird
supposed to?
because they then allowed him to fight more than a few times, even before and after that happened.
Has he fought bare knuckle? Have I just not
Well,
seen
he fought dirty boxing.
Valor.
Oh,
He
yeah.
fought Valor and dirty boxing.
But from what I'm hearing is that the commission and requirements in Connecticut are super anal. They're like,
Yeah, they're
like,
tough.
they're like California standards, then some.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
that's is it Mike Mazzulli, right? It's Mike
Yeah.
Mazzulli.
Yeah.
He runs that. He also is the president of the ABC, right? So, and I think he has jurisdiction over Europe as well. I think he has like the whole Northeast.
Yes.
And when they have events in like Birmingham or anywhere in London, in the UK or
Yep.
even Ireland, it's Mike Mazzulli and the Mohegan Athletic Commission. So they're reaching.
Yeah, so
they're
that
big.
was the first time, and then it really didn't pan out to much. And then the second time around, I didn't even get nothing, no talks. But that was not relatively quick after Sturgis, but it was definitely after the Sturgis card. When was the last?
That was
one?
February, so it was a couple months. It was
I guess it was
Sturgis
4 or
was
5
August, right? Sturgis was August, so
yeah.
September, October, November,
months.
December, 6
5.
months.
Yeah. So, but no, like I just decided to because that card had a shit ton of heavyweights.
Yeah, I did.
And after in the middle of fights, after fights, I was just texting Nate and I'm like, I'll beat his ass. Give me that guy. I'll beat his ass. How about him? I'll beat his ass. I'm like, why the fuck am I not on this card? I'll beat his ass. I'm like, how is this guy
responding
on
to you?
card? I'll beat his ass. Yeah, every time.
I love it.
Every time.
You know how I know you're telling the truth? You know, I know you're telling the truth because you were supposed to fight Ben Rothwell, BKFC 41. There were pictures, there was all that shit was made. I think, did you have an injury to your hand?
Yeah, I hurt my back. My back. Hurting my back is a normal thing. That's part of my
Josh
fucking
shows
camp.
up at Denver. And this motherfucker is having the best time. And he's like, I will fuck him up. I'll fuck him up the whole night. He's like, both these guys are trash. I'll fucking knock them both out. I'm like, yes, Josh, this guy is awesome. It was a good time out there, man.
That's exactly what happened.
So I believe you about texting.
Yeah,
Nate
I
about
was
all.
too, because it was just annoying. Because like, plus also the whole a shut mouth doesn't get fed. I got to make noise because it took 18 months from Greg Hardy until I fought Roundstone. I wasn't gonna get sidelined for another 18 months. Like that's stupid. I mean, granted, I'm almost sidelined 11 months for this one, which is again too long. But I'm happy to say, I don't know if you guys caught it. I signed a 3-fight deal with BKFC.
I did not catch that.
Yeah, I got it on that. So hopefully that makes things kind of pan out a little bit faster.
Well, dude, they are finally doing like a great job for you guys. Like for the longest time, there was a handful of you heavyweights that were even worth watching or pairing up, right?
Yep.
Now, just talking about that last Mohegan Sun card, the guy
there was a
fighting,
bunch.
we're going to talk about Yorgan De Castro in a second, but
Yep.
Yorgan De Castro's in there now. Parker Porter's in there now. He looked great. You got Hayes. You got the dude Hayes that fought and Hayes the Huntsman. He's an interesting fight.
Yep.
Andre fucking Arlovsky's about to fight in Texas. There's Kenzie Morrison, Tommy Morrison's kid. There's so many heavyweights now. It's beautiful. And before we talk about Yorgan, I do want to talk about Sturgis. You mentioned rounds. Oh, and the Brick Brady, of course. I won't forget him. Ruben Roundstone was like praising you after that fight because I don't think he realized how much speed you have in your hands for such a big, massive fucking dude that you are. He kept talking about the hand speed. He was like, I can't get over how fucking fast this guy is, man. We were at the Grunt Style after party having drinks with him, and he's just like all about like Do you think that you surprise a lot of people
I-
with
I
the jab, especially?
I surprise everybody with the speed. Anybody that I work with and we spar and stuff like that. First round's over and everybody's like, I wasn't expecting you to be as fast as you are. You see me hit mitts, you see me work, see me fight, but until the punch comes at you, you don't realize how fast it is. It's funny because after that fight, everybody was like, what was that guy thinking? And I'm like, well, if you watch the podcast and listen to my interviews and stuff like that, I knew what his game plan was. He does that rope-a-dope, his version of a rope-a-dope, and he lets you hit him in the body while he tries to catch you over the top. He tries to be faster than you, and he wasn't ready for my speed. And I tell everybody the first thing he said to me when we hit the stitch room, when we were both getting tended to, he's just like, man, you're so goddamn fast. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, you weren't ready for that. He's like, hell no. He's like, I wouldn't have. He's like, I thought I was going to be faster than you. And I remember actually watching the broadcast of the fight. And I want to say Chris Lytle said something about how Roundstone felt he was going to be faster than me in the fight.
It's crazy because anybody that had seen everybody that watches you on TV and sees you on the BKFC events, they know the size, the mass. You're a fucking big dude. When you get right next to Josh, you're like, this is a fucking massive, thick motherfucker, right? You wouldn't appear to have that kind of hand speed. No offense, but big guys like you usually don't have that kind of speed.
That's how I've done so well.
That's fucking unbelievable. Yeah, it's great. And now, so let's talk about Yorgan De Castro, because Yorgan De Castro showed up at Mohegan Sun and he did look really good. He looked like he fit right into the BKFC. What did you think about, he comes from a decent MMA background as well. Yep. He fought in the UFC. Yep. This is a pretty big name to get out in front of your people in the New England area.
That's what I wanted, when and that was another one of those things baiting for Nate. I'm like, give me another UFC vet. Give me another UFC vet. Line up the UFC vets. I'll take them. I'll fight them all day long.
This would have been if you would have fought. Yeah, because you were supposed to. You fought Greg Hardy.
Who the hell would have known? Who knows where everything would be had I had the Rothwell fight?
The Rothwell fight, man.
Would have dropped him, and he probably would have quit too.
And now he's the champion. So with a 3-fight deal on the table, and in a fight like Yorgan De Castro in front of you, there's a good possibility that that third fight of this 3-fight is this the first fight of the 3-fight contract?
This is, and and that's kind of the that's the path, that's the goal, get through this one, we got to take care of what's in front of me first, not looking ahead of it. Take care of this one. We got to figure out who I have to call out next. I don't really understand how Josh Copeland is ranked above me. But he's 2-1 in the organization. I think it's just because, again, he's a UFC vet. So he has more of a trackable name. So they give him more props than they do me. Whatever it is. If by the time my fight happens, he's still ahead of me, he looks like he'd probably be the person to call out, because the way the rankings work, Adams and what the hell, fighting in July.
Perdomo.
Yeah. That's 1 and 2. Those two are fighting each other. So the winner of that one, it's already, I don't know if it's part of their contract, but it's obvious whoever wins that fight gets Rothwell.
Well, Josh.
Yes.
I just pulled up the website. Okay. Copeland, I believe, has fallen out of the rankings due to inactivity. He hasn't fought in over a year. So, new rankings. Mick Terrell still sits at number 1. Number 2 is Arnold Adams. Number 3 is Perdomo. Number 4 is a guy named Josh Stay Down Watson.
What website are you using?
I'm on the app, BKFC app. So it never
fucking loads for me. Never.
Really?
So you got
Never loads.
Rothwell sitting at the champ,
Yep.
Mick Terrell number 1,
One.
Arnold Adams 2, Perdomo 3, you 4, Pat Brady 5.
I mean, and that makes a little bit more sense in general. Like that's more of a realistic, top 4. And then okay, what do I, if the time be like, if it has to be,
Mick?
Perdomo and Adams are fighting for basically that, that next title shot. Okay, and then it just means me and Terrell have to fight for that next title fight. Who knows? That's kind of.
Those are all fights that I would love to see you in, man. You and Perdomo would be a fucking hell of a
fast fight.
Oh my God. Neither one of you guys plan to spend too much time inside that squared circle. And he doesn't find too many guys that are the same height and stature as him. He's usually fighting taller guys, but he's like
he's like isn't he like 240-ish, 245-ish?
I don't know.
He's a little bit on like the smaller end of a heavyweight.
He is not like massive. That's for sure. He's the shorter. Yeah, he's definitely the small on the lower end.
Yeah.
What do you think about him? Because like I hate to be so skeptical, right? But you just never really know because he goes in there and he fights guys and he hasn't. His last fight, I thought he might have had a little bit more trouble, but Aurelius caught him right away and nothing happened.
I knew that fight was going to go that exact way. I said it to everybody. Yeah, you haven't seen him get challenged, and he'll get challenged with Adams. He's kind of has that like Tasmanian devil thing where it's like he's going to get in there and like
he does.
Almost like fucking Juggernaut. He was steamrolling a lot of people, and it wasn't until like somebody actually like kind of stopped it and made it past that like first wave of punches, and then it was like, oh, we're actually in a fight. And that was like that next that the next level of his fighting career as well. Like he had to mature as well. So Perdomo, until he faces somebody that doesn't go down in that first 30 seconds of him fucking mauling somebody, has to go.
The only guy that took him, well, his first fight was 1 minute and 18 seconds, but then it was 33 seconds. And then he fought Leo Bercier from Montana. And Bercier is known for being like a super tough guy. And anybody that talks about him in Montana is like, the Bercier brothers are the baddest motherfuckers out there. And you'll find them fighting in a bar on Thursday and then fighting in a professional fight on Friday, those kind of guys. Yep. But Bercier took him 1 minute and 40. But after that, 44 seconds against Banks, 47 seconds against Costa, 13 seconds against Aurelius.
Yeah.
He did get heavier too. So when he started off at 227. And his opponent, Joseph White, was like 239. Then he went to 236, 248, 253, 263 and a quarter. And then he went down again. Then he went to 261 and a half. And then he was 256 and a half in his last fight. Steve Aurelius was actually lighter than him in that fight.
Yeah. All right, then. Yeah. I have like a picture of him from those earlier fights where he was a lot smaller.
Yeah.
And maybe the fact that, because I know Aurelius is pretty, he's not that huge either. So those guys aren't, struggling to cut weight and make 265 because Connecticut has 265, not 275.
Okay. Well, the guy you're fighting, De Castro, right? Yep. He's 6'2". I don't know what he weighed in. Mike, do you have that?
I don't believe he's 6'2".
Well, they got him listed at 6'2". Do you think this is like a WWE?
He was kind of tall.
They got him listed 6'2", but he's really 5'11".
When we met him, he was kind of tall though.
What I find funny is
5'9".
Here's the thing
about that.
Here's the thing. Their height. No one's ever measured my height. They write down what I say.
Yeah.
But what they measure is the reach. So he says it's like 6'1", 6'2". I'm 6 foot, yet I have, I think, 5 or 6 inches reach on him. And those I know are measured. Like they measure our
You
reach. They
do,
measure
yeah.
our hand.
He has a 73-inch reach, and you have a 78-inch reach. You're right.
Right.
That's-
So,
And he was
You know,
263 in his last fight.
yeah, but I want to say the fight he had, what, in Poland? Is that where it was? Czech Republic, something like that. Last month or a month and a half ago, he was, I think, 254, 255-ish. He was a little bit on the smaller side.
Well, this is exciting because I'm excited to have you back. One, excited to hear that you have a 3-fight contract. 2, and I'm excited that your plan is to go through De Castro and then call out one of those top 3 dogs out there and en route to Ben Rothwell, which we should have saw 2 fucking years ago. After you fight this one, any chance you
don't even bring it up.
No. Any chance we get to run into you out in Sturgis? Did you have a good enough? Did you have a good enough time out in Sturgis last year to make a trip back out there again and check out the BKFC, even if you're not fighting? Because Mike and I will be there.
Probably not, only because like the logistics of Sturgis is just stupid. The fact of like people rent out their front yards for $500 a night for a friggin' tent to like be in like the mix of it. But I most likely 99.9% will be down in Hollywood in July for the Perdomo Adams fight. That one I will. As you should.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
Leading up to, those decisions and those call outs and stuff like that, I'm, making plans to be down there. Stop
that. Hey, going back to that last fight you were talking about, Yorgan De Castro, FNC 22, he fought Anti Deliha. I hope I said that right. But anyways, he lost round 1, 42 seconds by punches. 42 seconds.
Yep. Ooh. It was kind of it wasn't that impressive of a showing. I don't know. I was very tuned in. Beforehand I was, wishing him the best of luck. We, right up until we both got contracts, we were not talking daily or nothing like that, but we were, being very civil. And, I didn't want to, because I really wanted to come back and fight in New England. And they didn't have a backup plan if he was to get a concussion or was to get hurt or, something in that fight. So I wanted the best for him. I wanted him to do as good as he could so that he would be able to be healthy for our fight. Because, I don't need a last minute replacement like I've dealt with in the past.
Right.
So,
the good news is you still got him.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
We had that same conversation with Crystal Pittman like a month or 2 ago. She was fighting that girl Claudia Zamora, and Claudia Zamora had a fight for Dirty Boxing 4 weeks before, and we're like, how the fuck is she fighting Dirty Boxing for Mike Perry's organization a month before fighting you? And she's like, I hope it doesn't. It doesn't fuck up our plans.
Exactly. Yeah. And for that, I'm talking like the day of the fight, I sent him a message, wished him luck, and then after that, we kind of went back and forth with have you got a contract yet? Have you heard word? Is this happening? And then once, we both got it. We're like, all right, cool. See you there. And that was it,
Fuck yeah. Josh. Yeah. Mike and I will be there because that I live a half an hour.
So.
Yeah, I live a half an hour from the damn casino. So Mike and I will be there. We'll be having an after party at Tom's Watch Bar in the casino there. We'll have a blast.
Do they have food?
They have food.
They
do. They have food.
I was talking about that with people. Like, I tired of fighting in these small towns that at 11 o'clock, every kitchen.
Oh no, the casino! Everything in the casino is open.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm excited. I'm, being from Vegas, I'm excited to be shacked up in a casino, be able to, after weigh-ins, be able to eat, and I don't have to Uber to go get fucking ice cream. It's just all going to be right there.
It's all
Yeah,
gonna
and
be
good
right there.
food,
You're gonna have
too.
a blast. Yep. It's gonna be a
This
good
will
time.
be. We've thrown a lot of. So we know the guy who owns Tom's. We know their marketing guy. We met him in Denver. So we've done many watch parties at this bar, and we've done a couple of after parties for the last 2 events. So we'll do one again. Tons of people show up. It's really, really fun. Lots of fighters will go. Lots of fans from the area. A lot of people from our unit will be there. People just show up there. I think we had over 300 people both times.
Damn. All right.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. So last party, last after party after the last event, I talked to the general manager, and they were like closing up at the end of the night, and Mike and I are the last 2 people there after everybody leaves, and I'm like, so how did it go? And she's like, well, our capacity is 296, and you had us over capacity for the last 2 hours straight. I was like, oh, good. So you're happy. She goes, no, you guys are welcome back here anytime you fucking want.
It's a good time. It's a good
well,
time.
the same kind of shit happened in Sturgis, because we all had to shuttle back. We couldn't stay at the venue at Buffalo Chip.
Yeah.
So I was on the first shuttle back, get to the hotel, and they're like shutting the bar down. I'm like, what are you guys doing? I'm like, I even said something to you guys yesterday. Granted, remember, I'm a bartender. I'm a bar manager. Like, my brain thinks about these things.
Right.
And I'm like, I talked to somebody yesterday. They said they're going to talk to the manager and keep it open. She's like, well, I am the manager. And I'm like, well, you're going to have probably at least 50 people forced to leave the event and be back here. And I'm like, and you're going to shut down the only fucking bar we have options to. And she's like, well, I think I could probably go back there and keep it open for a little while. And I'm like, yeah, you should. And
what do you hate money?
Right. And at like 1:30, like she kind of came over and I'm like, so you're welcome. She's like, this is probably the best night I've ever had working ever. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. Like fucking, and all that was at that point, it was only 2.5 hours. But I mean, everybody was drinking. People were drinking like a bunch of top shelf stuff. Like she probably was dusting bottles off she hasn't touched in years.
Yeah.
And everybody was drinking. So
right. BKFC has a bunch of party animals, man. That's the truth.
Yeah, we like fighting. So kind of goes hand in hand.
That is it. So, Josh, it is awesome to have you back. It's awesome to see you back in there. We will see you at the Mohegan Sun 2 weeks from now in person. We'll catch up with you there. But
quick question: you guys know if there's a like a media day? I haven't heard shit yet.
Haven't heard anything yet.
I'm trying to actually get some sort of people or news venue from Maine to come down to kind of get some of that coverage, but I'd like to try. I'm trying to get some details on it. I don't know if you guys had that insight.
I will. You know what? I'll try to get you some. If you haven't had any yet, and we'll see if we can get some, and we'll let you know, buddy.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll check. I anticipate there just being the weigh-ins and then the fights.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I wasn't sure since there's enough former UFC faces to kind of.
Dude, with you, listen. They got the local guys with yourself and Parker Porter's from Hartford UFC, Bellator, Brennan Ward. You got John Howard from Boston. UFC. You got Rick Hahn from Boston UFC.
Yep.
There's a shit.
I know all these guys.
There is a shit ton of name recognition on that card.
There is.
So who says we can't hold their own media day, huh?
Ron Joe,
start inviting the people. We could just set it up.
Yep.
That would work. That would be fun.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. It's great to get you back in there. It's too long in between your fights. Thank God you got a three-fight contract. 3-fight contract, baby. Let's go. You have any final words for anybody that's tuning in right now or that will be tuning in and checking it out June 14th?
Just mostly, thanking some of my sponsors, especially the ones that are out in Maine, because, it's hard it's good because I'm going back home. So I have a lot of connections out there to get my, the message out there. It's kind of hard when you go travel someplace. You never get anybody that is, local that way. So, Vertex Home Visions, luxury vapes, long drink, and one that I got literally today that I'm trying to find, and my phone is taking forever. It is Maine Trees brand.
There you go.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people. And Athlete Armor as well. A lot of people are coming out and helping, and helping the camp out and making my old ass be able to get to my massages and my physical therapies and all that shit, so I can keep moving. So it's helping.
Absolutely. Support your local businesses, people. Thank you, Josh. Thank you for coming on here, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Mike, do you got anything else for Stay Down?
Stay down, stay up, buddy, because we're gonna see you soon.
Definitely.
I can't wait. Honestly,
I can't wait either.
We'll talk after this because
Okay.
we work right up the road. We work right up the road from Mohegan Sun. We live very close to there. So
Yep.
our unit we work on all different types of helicopters, Black Hawks, Apache, Chinooks, all that stuff. We do tours often. If you have some time, maybe we give you a tour. But
maybe.
so we'll get in touch. We'll talk to you after this and maybe set something up if you have the time. I know it's going to be a busy week, obviously, but hey, you never know.
Yeah.
You're there.
Well, you never know. If that's what I'm saying. If they fly me out in time and they plan on doing something on, what would that be, Thursday, some sort of like media thing, then
Right.
I'll probably have some free time.
Yeah.
If they do the normal fly me out and get me there on
Big Ben says hold a media day at the hangar.
Yeah. Oh, that would be awesome. Trust me, I would 100%. I want to do fights in the hangar. Like UFC used to go to the different bases and do fights.
Yep, I remember that.
I want to do BKFC in the hangar. We get people there. You crowd. Oh, it would be so. That would be great. We got to get this going.
That would be.
It's got to happen. It's got to happen.
That would be cool.
So
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much, everybody watching. You better be tuned in on June 14th. De Castro versus Watson at Mohegan Sun, right in our backyard. Josh Watson's coming back to the Northeast, baby. Let's go. Everybody else, stay tuned, because when we come back, we will be joined by Crystal, the lovely, and I hope I say this right, Say it, Kyle.
Van Vake.
Van Vake. I knew I'm going to screw up her last name, and I know it. Van Vake. Josh, you're welcome back anytime, buddy. Can't wait to see you in just a couple weeks.
Anytime.
All right. Adios.
Later, man.
Later.
Welcome back, Crystal. I confidently said your last name. I don't even know if I'm 100% right. Is it good?
It was good. It was fun.
Crystal, would you believe that we are on episode 339? We've been to 40 some odd events, and my main point of contention tonight, leading into this and everything, was don't fuck up Crystal's name. And I cannot get that. I couldn't get it. If you ask Kyle, I've texted him probably 4 times. Like, am I going to pronounce this right? I've worried about that for the past hour and 6 minutes now. I'm telling you, those are little things in my head that will just continually just bounce around. That's all I was worried about.
You didn't mess it up. I thought it was pretty okay.
It was pretty okay. Now, wait a minute. Pretty okay.
Kyle was okay, not me.
So we weren't 100% correct?
It's so difficult. It's so difficult to say it. So the way it's actually pronounced, because it's Afrikaans, is Van Wyk. But you had it wasn't bad.
All right.
bad.
Well, we
Wasn't
tried.
bad.
We tried. You know, I had a question about your name
That's
and
what
your
I say
nickname.
about McDonald's after I eat. I go, I wasn't bad.
I enjoyed it, but
It was, yeah, it was okay. You answered my question though. The nickname the Lovely. I was wondering if you like it before Crystal or after Crystal, like Crystal the Lovely Van
Yeah.
Dyke or the Lovely Crystal Van Dyke. So you answered it right there on the screen.
did I? Crystal the
I-
Lovely. Yeah.
Yeah, Crystal the Lovely, right there. So, hey, your fight just got added to this. I mean, was this fight in talks? Was it in talks for a while, and then finally you guys came to some sort of terms on a contract or something, or was this something that just popped up in the last 2 weeks?
Well, it's no, like this has just popped up. I had a fight. I had two different opponents. The one fell through, the other one fell through. There was injuries and I don't know, all kinds of things that happened. And on the last moment, they were like, well, who is Crystal going to fight? You know, we need to get her a fight. And I mean, I've been training and I've been on camp. So, like, I was just hoping that they were going to get me somebody. And I didn't know who it was going to be. I honestly, like, and then they came to me and they're like, what do you think about Jenny Savage? And I was like, that's crazy because me and Jenny Savage are actually friends. But okay, you know, that's a fun fight because stylistically, we are very similar. You know, we're the same size. We come from MMA backgrounds, and we both like to bang, and we're not afraid to. So I feel like, okay, that could be a fun fight.
And you have no problem punching your friend in the face.
Not really. It's all business.
Yeah, it's all business. You guys can be friends afterwards.
Absolutely.
This surprised me too. I don't know if it surprised you. Like you sounded like you were surprised by the name that they called you with, because we haven't seen Jenny in a while. It's been over a year, maybe almost like a year and a half since we've seen Jenny last fight. I
Yeah.
didn't know if we were going to see her again. She fell out of the rankings because of inactivity,
Yeah.
but here we are. You are fighting somebody who is, like, you know, quote unquote unranked right now, but sitting at number, she fought for the title, and Jenny Savage is a savage. She's a tough girl. She's a tough night out.
Yeah. She's a top girl. She's a top fighter. I'm honored to fight her because I know she's skillful, and she's all around really good. Like she was on the top at a time, you know. And I was surprised when they asked me because I didn't know it was an option. Number one, and then also like, wow, Jenny Savage, you know, like she's a great fighter. Like I would be honored to fight a great fighter, and it's a good test for me, you know, as an athlete. So.
Right. And also, let's be honest, your division doesn't have a ton of names in it right now. This is one of the most shallow divisions in the BKFC. They've been doing a great job building all these different weight classes, and a lot of the weight classes have enough, you know, high level fighters now to have a top 10 if they wanted to make a top 10.
Yes.
You guys right now have 4 people in your rankings.
I know.
You know what I mean? It's really hard to match people up when there's really not a lot of people out there to match up with, right?
Oh, that's so true. That's the thing, you know. And I'm actually on the smaller end of 115. I could go lower. If they had an atom weight division, I could even go lower. But so I'm really like having to fight bigger girls anyways. As it is, there's no one in the 115, so not much.
Speaking of, you know, more atom weight than straw weight fighters, was one of the in another fighter that fell out of the rankings because of inactivity. She had a baby and everything. Was one of the possible opponents for you? Was it going to be Jamie Hinshaw being in Albuquerque?
Yeah, it was Jamie Hinshaw. She was supposed to be the opponent, which I thought was also a great matchup. Great fighter. I thought like would be like for Albuquerque. She's a local, so I thought it was going to be it would have been a great fight. But I think she got injured. So that's why Jenny Savage stepped up, you know, which is honestly even better because
Well,
Jenny is like freaking good, you know.
that blank spot right there, the 5, that is Jenny Savage.
Oh, there we go.
It actually is.
I
She is
didn't even
definitely
think that.
off of there due to inactivity, but that blank 5 spot was Jenny Savage.
Was Jenny Savage.
It was.
There we go.
Yep. So might as well just write her name in
So
because
me and her,
that's
so me
where
and
she is.
her are fighting for a different ranking right now.
So, I mean, the only loss on your record right now was a banger that you had with Sarah Shell, who now sits at the number 1 spot. I would imagine she's probably going to be next up for a title shot against Britain. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? We have not heard anything, and I'm hoping that we hear something soon because
Yeah.
we like them to keep the champions active. And Britain fought in Dubai. Britain fought in Dubai in April. So I would think that, pretty soon we're going to hear something. And if it's not Sarah Shell, I don't know who it would be. A win over Jenny Savage could get you right back in that conversation. Maybe a rematch with Sarah Shell, or maybe you just fight Killer B Starling in the meantime if those two are fighting for a title. What are your plans here with the BKFC long term?
Long term, so before I go for a title against Britain, I wanna still fight maybe 1 or 2 more fights, because you must know or realize that Britain's got a lot of experience.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's just like going for that title shot, and nobody's beating her because she's really good and she's really experienced.
Yes.
You know? So if I'm
13 fights.
Right, like, if I'm gonna go for that, I want to get a little bit more experience before I aim for a title, so I'm not at all ready for that anytime soon. I want to do a couple more fights and get that ring time.
Very smart. That is a great answer. A lot of fighters out there will be like, no, give me one more win and I'm going for a title. For you to say something like that, that means you do have a very high fight IQ, just saying something like that, because Britain not only had
59 rounds she has.
How many?
59.
59 rounds in the BKFC. And not only does she have 13 fights, the only losses that she has on her record are 2 to freaking Christine Faria and 1 to Beck Rollins.
I mean, seriously.
At 125.
She avenged the Beck Rawlings one, and Christine Faria is the number 1 female bare knuckle fighter in the world.
And she fought her twice. I mean, like, what a beast you have to be to fight her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
That says a lot about Britain. She's tough, she's fast, she's skilled, and she's got it, So, like, in order to beat her, you're gonna have to be freaking good.
And that was that Jenny's last fight? Was her fight against Britain, right?
I think it was Taylor. I think Jenny's.
She fought Taylor. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's right. She did fight Taylor. But Jenny's been in there with Britain, and anybody who has followed this sport from the beginning, if you go back and you watch that first fight,
like each other.
Dude, if you go back and you watch Britain versus Beck, the first one, that is not the Britain Hart that you see now.
No,
like she looked. I don't want to talk bad about Britain because we love Britain, but like she looked out of sorts in there. She hung. Yeah, you know what I mean? She hung in there with Britain. I mean with Beck Rollins.
Yeah.
And then her very next fight is against Christine Faria. It's like, are you kidding me?
She was super green.
Right, super green, and she has evolved with the sport. And she really is. If you 2 or 3 more fights down the road get to fight with her, you will be fighting with like a Mount Rushmore type BKFC fighter.
Literally, yeah. No, I'm gonna take my time.
Nice.
I'm gonna fight a couple more girls and see how I feel. I mean, I would have to feel ready for that because I don't take it lightly. I think fighting for a belt and fighting against a high skilled fighter like Britain, it's something to take seriously. And I wanna make sure that if I do that and I'm at that level, that I'm ready for that, And I don't think it will be anytime soon.
That's
All
why
right.
it kind of stinks that the division doesn't have as many people, because it almost, if they can't find a fighter to like kind of move in, that's like a bigger name outside the sport that can just kind of move in and fill in a spot where there's a competitor for the champion, it forces fighters that are like starting their career in BKFC to then all of a sudden go from, okay, my first, second, third fight, and they're like, now I got to fight the champion who has 59 rounds and 13 fights. Like,
Exactly.
I hate that is, it's because it's you know what I mean? It's just the
Yeah.
pressure of movement. It's like, oh, well, we got to make a fight. The champ's got to fight
I
somebody.
must say that last fight with Ty Emery, I actually thought, wow, what a good fight.
She did
Yeah.
fantastic.
She actually did
Fantastic.
brilliant for like thinking that was only her how much fight, the third or fourth fight. She did freaking good against.
Yeah.
Britain. I actually thought, wow, nice. Like I was impressed.
Yeah, me too. And that's the thing. It's like, it's not that I'm not rooting for one way or another,
No.
but I am rooting for Ty Emery to get 3 more fights or 4 more
Right.
fights and then fight Britain. And it could have been different there. You know what I mean?
Imagine her with a few more fights and then fighting Britain. What the difference could have been, you know?
Yeah. I just hate that when a fighter goes and then, okay, now Ty Emery she wanted that fight and she took that fight as she should.
Yeah.
But now she gets knocked off. And my worry is always like, now when do they get another chance?
Yeah, now
You know what I mean?
what happens from here?
Right.
Yeah, because now she's 0-1 in the 115 division, right? Her other 2 fights were at 125, I believe.
True.
So like technically she doesn't even have a win in the division. So really, when Jenny Savage falls off that number 5 spot in the ranking because of inactivity, Ty Emery probably should have fallen right in there, but it would look weird to have a 0-1 fighter in the number 5 spot.
You've got Shelby Cannon that's also just started now too, right? She
just bought.
Shelby.
Yeah, she's 1-0.
Yeah.
That's someone too.
So I want to go back to something you said earlier. You said you and Jenny are friends.
Yeah.
What kind of friends are you? Like how deep does this friendship go? Are you guys known each other for a long time? Are you trained together? What's the friendship?
We haven't trained together. We just known each other for a long time over social media and chatting to one another. And she was actually the girl that inspired me to do bare knuckle.
Oh, nice.
And we'd always chatted about a lot of things, fighting and over the years. And like, I just really respect her as a fighter. I really love her as a fighter. I always looked up to her. I always thought, wow, like, you know, the fact that she did bare knuckle, it intrigued me. And like I said, it inspired me to do bare knuckle myself. So she's really the girl that like pulled me into doing this. And, you know, she's given me great advice and we just kept in touch over the years. And so it's that kind of friendship where it seems kind of surface level, you know, but we have a good relationship. And I think we're very similar, you know. We've both gone through a lot, and we both have, I don't know, we both have the same struggles and things that we go through. So I think we just kind of connect, you know. But I think it's, for me, I've actually fought quite a few of my friends over the years. So it's nothing like new for me, you know. And I think we're both going to be cool about it. I think we're going to have a lot of fun in there. I think this is a good fight because we get to let our hands fly and we both have something to prove. We're both hungry. It's her comeback fight and I've got something to prove because she's on a top level and I want to be able to prove that I can bang with that level, you know. So yeah, and we both want to win, obviously. So
absolutely. So we can't expect you guys to be slugging it out at the weigh-ins, but you know what you should do just to fuck with her, even though she's your friend? You should come out dressed like a juggalo.
Yeah.
You know what a juggalo?
My gosh, I cannot do that.
No.
That would.
But I feel like she might do something interesting. She's always got something up her sleeve. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I think we can anticipate something. I don't know what it's gonna be though. It's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna try to be serious, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to.
Well, I got to tell you, I was happy to hear that this was happening. When your manager, I believe it was your manager,
Yeah,
asked if we had could get you on the show. We were like, yeah, we can get her on next week because next week's fight week for you. So we wouldn't want you on next Wednesday when you got to cut. You got to weigh in on Thursday. I don't know what kind of week it is for you. So no,
Yeah.
we'll get you on this week, and I'm glad you had time. So thank you for coming on here. Let me ask you this question before we wrap up with you. We just got done talking to Donald Sanchez, who is going to be headlining that event.
Yeah.
Donald's from Albuquerque.
Okay.
Mike and I didn't realize that Albuquerque's 5,300 feet above sea level at altitude. It's a tough place to fight. It's kind of like fighting in Denver. Have you ever fought at altitude like you are about to in Albuquerque?
So in South Africa, we've got Cape Town and we've got Johannesburg. And every time I flew to Johannesburg to fight MMA, there was an altitude. And it was people really struggled to fight with the altitude difference. People went ahead of time to acclimatize and whatever. But I never ever struggled with the altitude situation. I don't know if my body or just me, I kind of acclimatize easy, but I never ever have an issue with that. So I don't know if it's going to be different with this, but I don't think that I'm going to have an issue with the altitude issue.
Yeah, Johannesburg's 5,700 as opposed to 53.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have definitely fought at high altitudes before. Then.
Yeah.
That's 5,700. That's a mile high, basically. So, wow. Well, you know what? We wish we were going to be there. Like we were saying it earlier to Donald. We say it all the time on this show. Albuquerque is one of the best fight towns in America. Everybody there is down to throw down. They are a bunch of fucking savage animals out there. So look forward to performing in front of a rowdy crowd. That place will be sold out for sure. Donald Sanchez alone will sell that place out. I don't know if you know that, but he's like a freaking god down there in Albuquerque. So thousands of people.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it should be great. We were just saying right before we finished up with Donald, Mike and I have covered, I don't know, somewhere in the 35 to 40 live events range, right? We're in there. We're in that number right now.
Yeah.
And it was the first time in at the time when we went to Albuquerque, we might have only been about 15, 18 events in, right, Mike? We weren't super far in. Either way, we go there an hour before. We go there to the event center. Was it at the Tingley Coliseum that time?
Yes, the first one was. Yeah.
Same place that you're going. We went there an hour before the doors opened, and there was
Faria, right?
It was
That's
Faria
when Tony
versus
Soto said he was gonna F the dog. Remember?
Yeah,
Remember that whole
yeah.
thing?
He said, "I'm gonna knock you out,
that?
and then I'm
gonna fuck your dog." Yes, that's what he said.
Then I'm gonna fuck your dog. That's the guy had the kid.
Do you remember that?
Yes, the kid. His opponent had like a service dog with him on stage.
Yeah, he brought it on stage at the weigh-in.
Tony got right. Crazy. Tony got right nose to nose with him, and he goes, "I'm gonna knock you out, and then I'm gonna fuck your dog."
Oh,
yes, and they caught it on audio, and it went viral. It went super viral.
Everyone's like, "What'd the dog do to you? Leave that dog alone."
Yeah, everybody was it. It went when I say viral, I'm not saying it literally went viral. Everybody was talking about that.
That went viral.
Yeah, it was like the weirdest threat ever. It was crazy. Yeah. But like I was saying, Crystal,
we got coming after him.
We got to the event. We got to the Tingley Coliseum 1 hour before the doors opened, and there was well over 1,000 people in line waiting to get in. There was 1,000 people. The fucking line. We took a video. The line went all the way out from the building.
All 28, Kyle.
Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah,
that was a long time.
Quite an, like you say, a big venue with a lot of people. A
Oh
rowdy.
man, and we went around that town, and we were like going bar to bar and restaurant to restaurant, like we were trying to spread the word, like we do every time we go to one of these events. We go around the city, we hop restaurants, bars, and gyms and stuff. Hand out flyers.
Sorry.
We lost you, Kyle. We're losing you.
Sorry, I think you broke up.
Yeah. So what he's saying is like when we go to these different events, what happens is we go like, especially in the beginning, right? BKFC is fresh, brand new. We're going bar to bar. We're going to every single place that has any kind of TVs or anything like that. And we're putting out flyers and posters for the event. And
Promoted.
when we went to Albuquerque, everybody knew. Like we'd go to different places and people would be like, bare knuckle fighting? So are you saying like they fight and they use gloves? And we'd have to be like, no, it's called bare knuckle fighting. Like they don't have gloves on. Like what? It's in the name. And people just didn't understand it. But when we went to Albuquerque, everybody knew about it.
It's bare knuckles, so it's quite big there.
Everybody knew.
They were already all going. Like they were all going to the event.
Nuts. It was nuts. Like it's a fight city.
Quite an experience. Is that what you're saying?
It's a fight city. That city's a fight city. Like people are
epic,
born and bred fighting. Out of the womb, just punching.
Out of the womb.
There's a gym every corner, man.
Swinging.
It's like,
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, well that's cool.
It's gonna be a good time for sure. I'm glad you guys can hear me fine now, right?
Yes, we can. Kyle, wait. This is the place. Okay, I didn't get to try these, and I don't know. Do you like Cheetos?
Who?
Yeah,
everyone
not you, Kyle. Crystal.
Everyone likes Cheetos. Come on.
Do you like Cheetos?
I like Cheetos. I like.
Okay. They have what, Kyle? Remember when we went? They had like a specialty item at the stadium. We didn't, at the arena, and we didn't get to try it because we were working. We're running around, and we saw people. They were getting food, and at first I was like, "What is that? Nachos?" And then I look, and they have like hot Cheetos with like cheese whiz on it, or no, like nacho cheese. Hot Cheetos with nacho cheese on it, and some. It's like a thing around there. We never got to try it. So once you weigh in, you do your fight. You're gonna have to go get some hot Cheetos with nacho cheese sauce on it.
You should probably wait till after your fight, though. I don't know if you want to eat hot.
I don't really eat that. You guys have that runny cheese. Is that the nacho cheese? The runny cheese?
Yeah, like the gross, nasty cheese. Yes, but it's good in certain circumstances.
Yeah, Crystal, like that gas station cheese that comes out of a metal machine.
It's only good after you have a few drinks. It's delicious. Like if I was to eat it right now, I'd probably be like, this is gross. But after a couple of drinks, after fight night, right? Delicious.
I think everything tastes good after a few drinks.
That's what I'm saying. So you gotta try it while you're there. When in Rome, right? When in Rome. When in Albuquerque.
Right? When in Rome, try the runny cheese.
Oh. I'll take a
video. It sounds awful.
Should do it and share it. You should do it.
Oh, I'll do it just for you.
Awesome. Crystal, thank you so much for coming on, giving us some of your time, and best of luck for you and Jenny. Put on a show for those people down there. I know you're going to have a blast.
Yes.
Before we let you go, we like to give you a minute to shout out anybody you want to shout out, say a few things, call out anybody you want to call out. This is your time.
Well, I mean, honestly, I just want to say thank you to my manager, Sean White, from White Hat Promotions. He's been so great. I want to say thank you to Smith Brothers, the gym that I'm currently training at. They've really I've had the best camp of my life, and they've taken good care of me. They've given me crazy, crazy work. And I think it's going to bring out the best version of me. So I just want to say thank you to my gym, my fight family, and then all my sponsors, HKA, for the kits that they're going to provide me with. I know I'm going to look great. And just all the other sponsors that I have. I'm super grateful for everybody. And, yeah, I'm excited to put on a show. And thank you for BKFC for the opportunity. And thank you guys for having me on your show. I've had a blast once again. Every time I'm on the show with you guys make it fun. I love it. Appreciate you guys. And yes, I'll definitely be trying that runny cheese just for you.
gotta try it. You gotta try it.
Listen, hey, Mike, she mentioned two people. Well, she didn't mention them by name, but two of the biggest fucking sweethearts on the planet, Nick Sampson and Kevin Smith. What do you think about
a couple of dreamboats?
couple of dreamboats, those guys, huh?
Exactly. Those are like two of my favorite people.
Yeah. I mean, we have known Kevin for 5 years now, and we hang out with him every time we go to an event. We go out to dinner with him. He's one of our best friends in the industry. Yep. But Nick Sampson, on the other hand, that dude, we met him one time, and it might have been in Albuquerque.
Well, we've talked to him a bunch of times since then. But
right? No. But we met him in
Denver, I thought,
and then we ran into him in the airport in Denver. After I think at that point we had only had one conversation with him, and he sees us at the airport. He's like, "Boys, hey, how are you?" And then we have this 20-minute conversation. His shuttle that he was supposed to get on came and went. And we're like, "You gotta go?" He's like, "Oh, I'll get the next one." And he spent a half an hour talking with us. And ever since then, every time we see him, it's like best friends meeting up.
We saw
again.
him in Philly. We saw him in Philly at Knucklemania 5.
Nicest freaking people.
Yep.
Honestly, like Kevin has taken me under his wing, and like I just like he's just really given me a place to call home, and I love training here at his gym. I stayed at the gym most of my camp. I actually lived here. And like I'm just so grateful. I don't know what I would have done without him, honestly. So family, you know.
I believe it. I believe it. I know all those guys too, man. Freaking Chachi Versace's in the comments right now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing.
What is he?
You have some fam right here, some gym fam in the comments. Kevin Smith and Nick Sampson are absolutely outstanding gentlemen and the best friends you could have, straight up.
Exactly.
And
you know what that is right there, Mike? That is a seal of approval because people don't have to believe you and me when we say this shit about these people. But when Chachi gets in the comment section, he stamps that shit. That is for real. Kevin and Nick.
It's a true story.
True story. Crystal, we've had a blast talking with you as well. Best of luck in Albuquerque. Have the time of your life down there and do your thing.
Thank you.
And you're welcome back here anytime. Mike, do you got anything else for the lovely?
Hey, listen up. Well, really not for you, but for the people watching, they better be watching on June 6th, because if not, she's going to give you a 1-2. Savage versus Van. I'm going to say it wrong because you said it was okay, Van Veek, but that's not right. We all know it's not right. But Van Veek. Is it Van Veek? Savage versus Van Veek, BKFC 75, Albuquerque. Late edition, but a great edition. You know what I'm saying? Late, but great. Yeah. You better be watching. June 6th. Let's go. We're looking forward to this fight. And by the way, we didn't really talk about it, but your last fight was awesome.
Well, I don't know. I was kind of disappointed in my last fight, but
that girl that you fought was a freaking tough chick, man.
Yeah,
oh my
she
God.
was tough as hell. Young girl.
So good. She gave me such a good. She was good.
That was a fun fight to watch. You might not be happy about it, but I'm going to tell you that we were happy about watching it.
Okay.
So
I hope this one to be better. I think that me and Jenny are going to put on like an even better show. I know it can top that. 100%.
There it is.
So,
well, listen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on.
Guys.
We'll talk to you again soon. We'll be watching on June 6th. Everybody else, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this. Later.
Bye, Crystal.
Thanks.
Mike, What a show for you to come back to, man. 3 great guests tonight. Donald Sanchez, Josh Watson, and Crystal Van Beek. And the whole time I was talking with Donald,
Let's go, boy.
I wish you guys could see the inside of this cup, man. The tea was so bad. I'm pretty
Hay in
sure
there, you said?
it looks like, I don't know, man. It looks like fucking death in there. So what I have here, and I'm going to tell you guys,
Ooh.
when I was in Japan, there's a thing called habu sake, right? What they do is they soak the habu snake with venom and all in the sake for at least 2 years before they serve it, right? And they sell it in bars over there. It's the most nastiest shit in the world. But to clean up the taste of this fucking garbage right here,
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink some of this habu sake right now on the show.
Oh,
I'm dead serious. You guys Google this shit. Habu sake. They sell it in Okinawa. They sell the jars full that are like this big, have the full snake in them, and then they bottle them up. So bottoms up, guys. Hope I don't die tonight.
Bottoms up. Throw your hands up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, that is
Now
rough.
you got the venom in you.
I got the venom in me. There's a little bit of venom in that, and that's what makes me tingle. I can feel the tingle in my chest right now. But hey, I'm excited about all 3 of those fights, man. Donald Sanchez is a extremely high level fighter. Dave Mundell is the best that's doing it right now on the planet. Man, he's going into enemy territory against Donald. Donald's going to have a whole fucking army of Albuquerque's finest out there. It's exciting main event.
Army of Kirkies.
An army of Kirkies. And then Crystal's going to fight Jenny Savage and try some runny cheese afterwards, dude.
Yes, got to do it. I have a picture. I actually stopped those. Remember, there was like some girls, they were carrying it, and I said, "What are you eating?" And they stopped, and I was like, "I need to get a picture of this." And I took a picture of fucking Cheetos with cheese on it.
Yeah, it was
That's how important it was to me.
You know what? That same night was the night we met the karate hottie and her husband. Very nice people. And they would not allow her backstage to see John Dotson, right?
That's right. Yes.
We're like,
because sometimes the commissions are dumb.
Stupid.
They're dumb. They're run by
She's like,
dumb
but I just want to say hi and let him know that I'm here. I'm his teammate. And they're like, nope. Are you in the corner? Show me your corner's license. She's like, I don't have a corner's license. I'm best friends with this guy. I just want to go say hi to him, let him know that we're here, and then I'll go to my seats. And they're like, nope. Fuck you, lady.
Yeah, it does get the rules and the people. Sometimes they get real wacky. You know what I mean? Like, what is the karate hottie? First of all, very popular female fighter or fighter in general in just the world of combat sports. Yeah. What is her walking back to say hello? You're in the area too, so you know that these people know who there's no way they don't know who she is, right? I mean, it's local. You're covering combat sports, unless you're a complete dud, which actually some of them are. I wouldn't be surprised. They're stupid people. Some of them are very dumb people. Some of the people who work for the commission,
they're slows.
Yikes. Okay. We go to these events, and sometimes I'm like, I have to just ignore it. I have to tell myself, like, Mike, these people are just dull.
What do they got, Mike? They got a fast case.
They got a fast case of the slows, and I just let them be. You know what I mean? They start getting a little silly, and I'm like, you know what? We're here on business, Mike. Don't say anything too out of pocket, as they say.
Yeah. Don't tell them to go suck a breadstick vagina, Mike. Don't do that.
Tell them. I won't say. I will not say that. I will not tell them to go eat a breadstick vagina. Yep, not gonna happen. So, for those of you that didn't see the beginning of the show, my daughter believes she is very young. She's turning 6 tomorrow. Happy birthday, Bristol. But she told me that boys have breadstick vaginas. So that is the mind of a 5-year-old girl. And
that is so funny.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that even
sometimes
becomes a thought, but it's hilarious, man.
But I do sometimes think that about the commission. Some of the commission people, they need to go
eat a breadstick.
Eat a breadstick vagina. Yeah, they get a little silly. No, you cannot go talk to John Dodson. You're going to ruin everything in this world if you do it. So they got to chill out, relax. It's like the security at the Seminole Hard Rock. You would think that these are people with 25 years in the FBI, but yet it's probably their second night of the job as security, and they think they are so important. It's unbelievable.
Absolutely. A crazy sense of fucking importance. That's for sure.
They got 4 55-year-olds standing at the fucking the entrance, and they are on a mission to not allow you to get onto the floor. You will not get down there. Even if you walk by them 17 times, they still go, oh, hold on. It's like, I just saw you 5 minutes ago, 75 times in a row. You don't know who I am yet?
I still have the same credentials around my neck that I had 10 minutes ago, you fucking idiot.
It's unbelievable, some of the people. But you know what? I've vented enough.
You have vented enough. It is awesome. We will have a show next Wednesday, and there's a good possibility that Mike could be broadcasting from what will appear to be a jail cell once again, because he's going to be away at training.
Yeah.
So hopefully your
I'll be there.
Signal will be good, and you'll be fine. I mean, mine fell off tonight because I'm a poor and I got shitty service.
We'll be fine.
But we will have a couple big names for you next Wednesday, and we will prep you a little more for this Albuquerque fight card that will be taking place that weekend. And I'm looking forward to it, Mike. We got another weekend off from BKFC fights. Oh, and dude, what in the last 7 days since our last fight, they did announce a few things. They announced the president of BKFC Ice Wars. What do you think about Ian Heinisch? And do you remember that we ran into him at the airport?
At the airport, yep. And
where
was that? Florida?
I don't remember. I just remember so randomly we were all at the same.
We were checking into our flight.
Yeah, we were checking into our flight, and he was standing right next to us. We were like, "Hey, how you doing?" I can introduce ourselves, and now here we are. A couple of years later, he is.
We set him up for this.
He is the president of the BKFC Ice Wars, man.
Yes, definitely. We did that.
Yeah, that was all you, Mike. Yeah.
We put him on that path because he was like BKFC.
Yeah,
and that's what
we gave him one of our flyers, dude.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's what got the brain. That's what got, he was like, oh, BKFC, and then all of a sudden, years later, he's BKFC. That's what got the gears turned. He probably started watching. Then he said, oh, I'm telling you, it's
you know that he was on. I didn't hear it.
Full credit.
I didn't hear it, but he was on MMA Today on Sirius XM Radio this afternoon with Dean Thomas and Anthony Johnson. No,
not Anthony Johnson.
Who the fuck is Anthony? The Lionheart Smith, Anthony Smith.
Oh, Smith, yeah.
Dean Thomas and Anthony Smith were interviewing him about Ice Wars this afternoon, and I missed it. So
sad.
I mean, go on the app and check.
Go on the app and we listen.
Before we go, one last shout out to our sponsors.
Oh wow.
Dynamic Life, weight loss, sexual health, and anti-aging. Go over to @LIV Dynamic.
Take control of your life.
Take control of your life. I think I may have attempted a yuck it up voice while you were gone. I don't think I did a good job though. But hit up Dynamic Life. It's at LIV Dynamic on Instagram. Hit the link in the bio. 20 seconds later, you could be a patient, and then head over to the Rasha. It is at Rasha Elite on Instagram. Link in the bio will bring you to the Rasha.com. They are the official mindset recovery tool of the one percenters and the BKFC and the Mike and Mish show. So shout out to our sponsors for keeping this train rolling. Mike, do you have anything else for the people out there?
Oh, yeah, I have one thing, and it is, peace out.